travel with me. Hey fellow humans, Mina here. Welcome back to another walk and talk video. Haven't had one of those in a little bit. Look, it snowed and it's cold, so it's a hot day today. But yeah, how y'all been doing? I've been great. So this is a little update video. First off, before I get into story time of what I've been doing in January, I got some email from my publishers. We're working on a timeline. They got my story for edits, and we shall be working on those edits soon. And it looks like, if all goes well, publication for that story in the anthology series shall be done this year, so that's cool. Like, the snow, this is a lot of snow for us. This happened in like one day, and well, yes, it's chilly. Look at this little Korean roofy house thing. Well, yes, it's chilly. It's already melting because it's Korea, and this will probably be gone by tomorrow, at least the majority of it, which is unfortunate because I love snow. I'm Canadian, and this is not a lot. But fun fact, completely unrelated to anything. I went to the 2018 Winter Olympics because I just moved to Korea, and I was like, I could go see the Olympics because it's in Korea. And I did, and it was amazing. Highly recommend going to see Olympics in person because it's completely different than watching it on TV. There's like cool shit going on. I'm not really into sports, but I do like, the only time I'm into watching sports and then get into sports is the Olympics. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, there was not a speck of snow in where the Olympics were. There was only they must have like fake snowed or brought in snow just for like where the events were, because as soon as you left the event venue, there wasn't snow. And it barely snowed. It did flurry a little bit one day, and I was very disappointed because I was like, we're going to the Winter Olympics, there's got to be snow, and there wasn't. So I was very disappointed in that. And also, fun fact, unrelated, see these pots of plants? They're not plants. Well, some of them are. They're potted cement. Why? I don't know, but they've been here since I've gotten to Korea, along with an upside down chair tied to a post. Because. Anyway, so random tangent aside, and update on the writing. I haven't, besides the publication thing, I haven't really touched on writing much this year because I've just been reading. I've read like 11 books so far, but then I went, this is where the story time comes in, because the past few videos were actually pre-recorded because I've been on a vacation to Japan. The country finally opened up, and it was amazing. And while I was there, did some awesome stuff. We don't want to get hit by cars that are crossing because that would suck. Come back to Korea and just get smashed by a car, yay. We don't love that. But yeah, so I haven't been reading much since I got back, but it was an amazing time. If you followed me on Twitter and or Instagram, you would have seen updates. Oh, he's coming behind me. You would have seen updates on the trip while I was there, and if you still follow me, you'll see over time pictures that I took. Going away, my face red, that sucks. Anyway, so you would have seen pictures you will be seeing pictures that I take over time, because there were some nice ones. So it was an amazing time. I spent time in Tokyo with a friend for a few days. She actually lives in Korea, and we went together. And then she left, and I stayed in Japan, and then I went to southern Japan, like Osaka, where my friend lives, who's also a friend of my other friend, but anyway, I stayed at her place, and that was fun. She took me to a train station, where the station master is a cat. Literally like the highlight of the trip. What a good girl. I mean, she might have been sleeping on a job, but granted, Grading people is hard work, and she's a hard-working kitty, so she deserved a little eyebrows. Although she did sit up and turned around and sat back down again. But it was so cute. And like the train to get there was like a special cat train. It was like the train was like a museum, and it does take you to other stations. So it's like an actual train you can take, but it's a fancy ass train filled with like couches and libraries, and it's the coolest train ever. And it was really cool. And if you know me, I love cats. I'm pretty sure that might be obvious by now. But so that was like the highlight of the day. And then she took me to Nara, which used to be the capital of Japan way back in the day before it became what it is now. And the whole town is like run by deers, wild deers, but they're just so used to people that they like chill. And we fed the deers, and we pet the baby deers, and we pet the adult deers. And some of them were a little chunk because they know where to get all the deer crackers that, you know, we feed them. So that was fun. And yeah, it was a really great trip. But the real story time of this video happens after I get back to Korea. Like right after I get back. So like I get back to Korea, and everything goes smoothly. Got the security, it's all great. And I'm taking the taxi from the airport to Incheon City. Because it's Incheon Airport, but it's like a half an hour to Incheon City. Because the bus times to my town, ever since Corona happened, are they considerably less for some reason, and they haven't upped them, although they have upped the times. Like they made more times in the schedule, but they're still shitty times, and so like no matter what time you land, you're just not gonna get the bus. So it's easier to just take the bus to the bus terminal in Incheon and then take the bus straight to here. It's a little bit of a hassle, but yeah. And I know I said it's a half an hour ride-ish, but it's not that expensive for a taxi, especially if I were to take that same taxi back home. But yeah, so anyway, this guy, I bought 2 bus tickets while I was in Japan on my phone. I was hoping to catch the earlier one, and if I would miss it, I would take the next one, because, you know, you never know how long it's going to take to go through security, but actually it went through really fast. But, so the taxi driver found him right away. He takes me straight to the bus terminal in good time. I'm like, yeah, I won't even have time to have a snack because I haven't really eaten anything in a while. And I'm hungry, you know. And so I was like, yeah, this is great. And he parks right in front of the bus terminal. And I'm like, paid. And I'm like, okay. And I get out of the car, and because he helped put my bags in the trunk. That's a good point. And so I get out, and I walk towards the trunk, and I like touch the handle, and the dude pisses off, like, vroom. And I'm just like, I'm running after him, like, hey, like, my shit, you got my bags. And I have like $2,000 worth of stuff in those bags. Like in my iPad and some like 2 really expensive figures that I bought while I was in Japan. Actually, I bought a lot of figures, but 2 of them were really expensive. And I am losing my mind because Incheon is like the 2nd biggest city in Korea, I think, next to Seoul. It also is next to Seoul, but but yeah, and I'm like, it's a holiday too, and I'm like, oh my god, instant panic attack, because like I'm freaking out, like, because I didn't think to pay attention to the name of the driver, the license plate, the car, the company, or anything. And on my card, all it showed is that I paid for a taxi. It didn't show like the name of the taxi company. And I'm like, how the hell am I gonna find this taxi? And I'm freaking out because like he got all my shit. I don't live in Incheon, as we've previously established. And I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get my bags? I can't, like, what am I doing? And I had my, like, winter jacket packed in my bags, and it was warm in Japan. I just wore a sweater, like, the entire time, so that's what I was wearing when I landed, but it wasn't warm when I got to Korea. It was pretty chill, and, so I was like, what am I going to do? And I'm, like, panic calling my friends, like, cause, like, you know, you're in panic mode, like, what do? I'm posting on the expat group, I'm like, holy shit, guys, the taxi driver took off with all of my shit. And I stood at, like, the taxi stand, because sometimes, like, when they drop you off, they turn around and come back to, like, pick up more people. But he never came. And so I ended up calling the foreigner hotline, which I just heard of. Very super helpful. They're great for translation. I'm glad I now know this number. So I called them, and I'm like, oh my god, taxi driver took off with my shit. And I'm panicking. I'm, like, trying not to ugly cry in the bus terminal, and Koreans are, like, looking at me because I'm, like, swearing really loudly because he took off my shit. And so they're like, go talk to the information people. And I go talk to the information people, and they're like, we don't have your stuff, you didn't drop it off, go to the police. I'm like, shit. So I go, she gives me the name of the police station. I'm trying to, like, neighbor maps it. The neighbor is kind of like Google of Korea, but I find it better, at least for when you're in Korea. So I'm trying to, like, see if I could walk there, and I'm panicking, and I'm freezing at this point, and I'm hungry, and I'm tired. I just want to get home to Seoul. And it's getting close to where I'm going to miss the first bus. So I stand in the taxi stand, but no one's coming. But then I realized I'm standing, this has been, like, I don't know, at least half an hour at this point that I'm just standing there trying to figure all this shit out. And then I noticed that there's taxis coming, but before they can come in, people just grab them off the road. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do that. So I leave the taxi stand, and I flag one down. I'm gonna wait to cross, and so we're waiting to cross. Actually, I can cross right now. Slow. We crossing the road. Why are you guys so slow? Okay, it's a red light over there. That's why. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm going to the pet store to get Soren some fresh litter. I normally drive, but the roads are too bad for a bike, and there's a little bit of, these roads are fine, this is the main road, but the roads to get to the main road, they got snow, and my bike don't handle snow very well. This does, apparently. That was a bike, that just the noise. Anyway, so the taxi driver, the taxi driver takes me to the police station. First he was like, you want to go to the police station? I'm like, yes. He's like, sure. I'm like, get me to the damn police station. And so anyway, he takes me to the police station a few minutes away, and I'm glad I took a taxi because that was not within walking distance. I mean, it was, but, like, I'm in a hurry. I need to find this guy, like, now, because he's got all my very important stuff. And he takes me to the police station, which 100% is a school. I mean, it was a police station, but it was like 100% an elementary school converted into a police station. I like pretty much all the schools in Korea look the same, so that's how I know. But it was like 100% used to be a school. Anyway, I go inside, and this is a holiday, by the way. It's Lunar New Year. And so I go inside, and there's no one. Shit. So I start, like, yelling, like, hello, anybody here? And, like, no one's coming. And then I'm like, shit, is it closed? Because it's, like, a holiday, and it's getting close to when shit would normally close if it was open anyway. And I'm panicking. And I read the signs, and I'm like, okay, I might need to go on this floor. But, like, everywhere I need to go is blocked off, or you need, like, permission to go anywhere. And I'm like, shit, what am I gonna do? Thankfully, some guy comes down. I think he was leaving work. And I was like, are you a police officer? He's like, yes. And I'm like, I need the police. And it's like, hold on. So he goes and gets an actual guy who is, I guess, is still working. He's got the outfit and everything. And he ignored a loud music across the street at the farmer's market. Hope it doesn't do copyright stuff. But anyway, I called the foreigner hotline again because it's like we're not messing around with Google Translate, and my Korean's not good enough for what I need right now. So I call the foreigner hotline, explain my situation. I'm like, translate for me. And so she tells the police officer my situation, and they're like, do you know the name of the company? Do you know the driver's name? Do you know the license plate and all this stuff? I was like, I don't know any of it. I didn't think to pay attention because normally this doesn't happen. He just took off, and he knew I had my bags in there because he was the one who put them in there. Anyway, he managed to actually find the car using my credit card that I paid for. Somehow, I don't know how, I guess you could see the transactions. He somehow managed to find the right driver too, not just the company. At first the driver was like, no, there's no bags, because he probably forgot that the bags were in the trunk. Busy day, you know. And he's like probably looked in the back seat and like, no, there's no bags. And I was like, no, he put them in there. He should remember. So anyway, he called him back, and it turns out, yes, my bags were there, thankfully. And he was going to come to the police station. It would take a half an hour. I was like, oh my God, thank God. So he came, and when he arrived, he was like, you forgot your bags. I'm like, no, I didn't. You took off. I was touching your trunk and you took off. But he didn't even apologize. He was just kind of like you forgot your bags, you silly foreigner. I was like, no, I didn't. But anyway, I obviously missed the first bus, but I canceled the bus ticket in time, so I got a refund for that. But I still had that second bus, and I was like, I might be able to make it. Anyway, he took me, before he got in, I got in the taxi, I was like, show me the bags, I need to know they're there. And he did, and I was like a sigh of relief, I got my bags back. So he's taking me to the bus terminal, thankfully not charging me. If I knew enough Korean, I've never done a Karen, but I would have went a Karen mode to be like, refund me my $30 from the airport. But I didn't have time because I wanted to try catching that next bus instead of taking the later one, because I just really want to get home to Soren at this point. I'm really tired, I'm sore, and I want to get home to Soren. And he takes me straight to the bus terminal, and I'm like, bags. He's like, yeah. So I got my bags out, and I bolted. The bus is about to leave any second, but it's still there, and I'm like running, and I get to the bus, and they're like, son, I'm like, yes. And so I threw my bags inside and get in the bus, and they're taking off. And I'm like, I made the bus. I can't believe I made the bus. I'm so glad I didn't cancel the ticket. And I made my bus. So long story short, taxi driver took off my shit, panicked attacked, but I got my stuff back the same day, because a lot of people were like, you'll probably get your stuff back, but like you'll have to go back and get it. And I was like, I really don't want to do that. But I got it back the same day. So now it's just a fun story to tell people, but holy hell, living through it was not fun. So yeah, how about you guys, my fellow humans? Do you have any fun travel stories like that to tell? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them, because they're stressful at the time, but you know, if you're going back to them, they're a fun story to tell. So yeah, hoping to get back into some reading/writing. I got desk warming till like March, so hoping to get some stuff done then. So yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, be sure to like it and comment and share it and all that fun jazz, and make sure to subscribe, if you wanna. And yeah. And by the way, my debut LGBT plus novel, South, is now available. And if you can possibly want, links in the description down below to paperback, hardback, ebook, pick up a copy. And if you do, I appreciate a review on Amazon and or Goodreads. It helps an author out. Wait across. Anywho, that's all I gotta say for now. If you want to keep hearing more about us, be sure to follow me on all your favorite socials. Links below. Stay safe and take care. Bye. Love you, son.